In the year 2000, my wife and I started a design studio called Tiger Studio. It was just myself. Didn't have a big, huge, significant reputation as a world-renowned designer. However, I had big visions. And got together with a few advisors, and we decided, we brainstormed on what the studio should look like in the future, what it was going to be, what it was going to do. And we got together and said, and I'm not sure how many of you know what a BHAG is, but a big, hairy, audacious goal. And yeah, that's what it is. So we decided to, our big, hairy, audacious goal was to be, target a significant, gigantic automotive company, and we were going to be their #1 outsourced studio from their studio. So we were going to be, Tiger Studio was going to be their #1 studio that they outsourced to. And that was our big, hairy, audacious goal. And if you know anything about industry, in this particular case, there were at least 15 to 20 other studios in front of us. And some of them had 100 people studios, 250 people studios, different parts of the country. And so that was our goal. So early on, we set out to do what we're going to do. But just to give you an idea of what going through a startup is like, in this in particular day, I was still the only designer, and we were trying to recruit another designer, our first designer. And that particular day, again, getting out of bed is very hard for a designer if he's got to go sell something. So, time was wearing down on my brain and your mental state about every day you had to go sell something. I would rather just draw things. But this particular day, I got a phone call from this designer we were trying to recruit and said, Luciano, I'm not going to be able to join your company. I'm going to go to one of your competitors. Okay, all right, that sounds good luck. And then my wife, Janie, calls me and says, I had the kids, and we own a building back then, and said the furnace blew up, and the whole building shook. And oh yeah, okay, I'll be there. I'll be there in a little bit. And but they, they were a little bit shaken. It literally shook the building. But then, as I hung up the phone, my tooth fell out over here. Okay, all right. We got them right where we want them. And so yeah. So I go to open my car door, and the dumb thing doesn't open. The door doesn't open. So the door is broken, so I, bam! It's like, hit the car door. Everybody's done that, right? Oh, yeah. I have, but yeah, that's what starting in business is like. Against all odds, here you go. And that was a particular day. In 2004, we hired our first designer, and things started to grab traction. It started to really take off. We started to get noticed in the industry, and by 2007, we had about going 10, 11 people in the studio. We were building it up. In 2007, the spring, we had designers, illustrators, interaction designers, graphic designers, model makers. And we were just starting to rock a little bit, right? Just starting to get traction. And then June 2007, and it was alluded to this earlier, but the big automotive firms, GM, Toyota, Ford, Chrysler, and all that, they knew that something big and bad was coming. So what they did is they cut off all their suppliers. tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, everybody out of the building. So what that means is that everybody, you're not doing business with us anymore, all the automotive firms. Anybody who was a supplier to the automotive people, including us, you're not doing business with us anymore. We're, just kind of, we got what we have. We're going down for the count for a while. And sure enough, so that was our first hurdle and our first downturn, right? So I go, oh my goodness, so what are you going to do with 10, 11, 12 people when 90% of your business is automotive? So, all right, said to myself, you got them right where you want them. Right, yeah, and I have to say that because it's, I come from the military, and there's no such thing as giving up. There's no such thing as failure. That was not an option. So we hung on tight. We hung on. We prayed. We did everything we could. I didn't pay myself for a while. You know how things go if you're an entrepreneur or a business owner. However, we hung on long enough. 2008 comes along, and we start to rock again. Incidentally, some of the 15 and 20 studios that were in front of us at this particular automotive company, well, half of them were gone already at that time. So, I'm thinking to myself, I want to be their #1 studio, but I'm not sure if I want to do it this way. Because But okay, well, we'll take what we have. So we made it, and onward we go. So we're rocking a little bit in 2008, and guess what happened in 2009? Bam! Right? I mean, everybody knows what happened, right? It's a Great Recession. It was absolutely terrible for everybody, and you're hanging on to dear life. Absolutely, you go to the auto show. Cobo Hall was 25% filled up, hardly anybody around. You can get in at a discount. It was just like, it was eerie, but it was just hanging on to dear life. You're just looking at each other, and you're kind of in shock, right? You're in shock because everybody's losing their jobs, and you're hanging on. And you're just kind of scratching your head. But then again, no, you got them right where you want them, right? You got to have that attitude, right? So what do you do now? Long story short, we hung on. And that big, hairy, audacious goal, trying to be their #1 studio, we were getting closer and closer in 2010. Reason why? There were only 2 or 3 studios left in the company we were targeting. Forgive me, there were none. There weren't any studios in front of us. They had all gone out of business. So, what do you do? So in 2010, our studio was starting to rock again. We built up the machine again, right? We built up the machine. We were rocking and rolling with our clients. We were actually, by that time, we were doing healthcare and furniture along with our automotive clients. And we were just rocking. Everybody, a lot of people who remained or stayed in business, they came back strong, right? Because we survived the big bad recession. However, so what could go wrong now, right? It's like 2010, the economy's roaring back. So what could go wrong now? Everything's perfect. Except one thing. One thing was kind of happening. And I was personally losing energy. I'm a very lively person. My attitude is contagious. It's vibrant. It's fast and it's furious. But by this time, late September 2010, by 12 p.m. noon, I was losing energy. And I go, well, what's going on? Okay. So by 1 o'clock, I had my head like that on the desk. I go, man, okay, what's going on here? So I go to the doctors and they, hey, there's nothing wrong with you, Luciano. And so we're going along and along. Hey, well, what's going on? I'm still tired and getting more tired. My wife's saying there's more wrong with you than you're just tired. And, well, maybe. It just kind of hurts right here. There's something going on, but no big deal. So I'm thinking, studio's going well, why am I so tired? Why don't I just take a vacation or go on something or another, just rest? So, long story short, went to more doctors in January, and I gotta admit to you, but don't tell anybody, is that a doctor ordered a blood test months before, and I failed to go to the appointment because I was busy. So they ordered another blood test, and so bottom line is, and we don't have to go through all the details, but they told me I had colon cancer. Okay, it's like, oh, yeah, that's a new one, So you know how your thoughts, well, now hopefully nobody else goes through this, but you think about, first thing you think about is your family, and you think about your relationship with God and things like that. But then after, I don't know, the 10th thing you think about is, well, we built this business to the point of, we're almost to that big, hairy, audacious goal. And I'm thinking, Lord, well, if you take me now, I'm not going to be able to see that accomplishment. If it is so, then it is so. So we get a surgery scheduled, and okay, I'm going in, and all of a sudden I was at work, and there was a whisper in the hallway, and I look back. Well, there's nobody there. I go, I'm losing my mind, right? I'm losing my mind. And the whisper said, you're gonna be okay. Okay, I believed, well, I didn't believe the first whisper. I said, am I listening to things? So later on that afternoon, I hear that whisper again. Nobody around. You're gonna be okay. Then, okay, well, so my wife, family, and I, we all go to the surgery, and it's very successful. Obviously, I'm standing here right now. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Lord. So the day after surgery, I get a phone call from one of my workers. Somehow my cell phone came with me. So, yeah, determination, spirit, all that. So I get a phone call from one of our workers. Hey, Luciano, we have the company you've been trying to get through for the last 10 years? Well, they called yesterday. They want us to go make a presentation next Tuesday. This was Wednesday. Surgery is Tuesday. So 7 days later, I go, good thing my wife Janie wasn't around. But I said, yeah, okay, book it. I'll be there. You know, I said, okay, yeah, rock and roll. so, so, so again, so Tuesday came. I tell my wife, I gotta go. You know, so they had me on some drugs. I don't know what it was. It was bad. So I get in my wife's car, the Element. I drive to work. Yes, I'll meet you guys out back. I'll pick you up back. That way nobody sees me. And so I pick up the two guys that we're going to make a presentation with. And halfway to the client, which is an hour and a half away, I go, my gut started hurting. And I go, I forgot my meds. You know, and we're going to this presentation. And you know, if you ever been cut up, you know, like 6-7 days ago, and it hurt a lot. So we go to the presentation, and I'm like this. Hey, what do you think, Luciano? Yeah, I'm just, you know, you could barely talk. But long story short, we made it through the presentation. We got the job. So that's the kind of determination that has been occurring, right? So no matter what odds you know, beyond your family and God, you know, you're going after things, and I'm going after things. And so the spring of 2011, we became their #1 outsourced studio. We had designers, illustrators, model makers, interaction designers. You know, you felt accomplished, you felt confident, you felt blessed. You know, a little migrant kid from Texas be able to do something like this. So, it was supposed to be happy, right? So what else could go wrong? What can go wrong now? You know, we met our goal. Everything's fine. Everybody's happy. We had a system in place. I'm going to go spend time with my family. Your body has been neglected all these years. I don't know, go pass out on the beach somewhere, you know. I was looking forward to that. Okay, we can do that. However, one more phase to this story is that in the spring of 2012, get a phone call from the client, say, Luciano, we're going through some changes here at in our company, and just hang on tight. We'll let you know, and we'll let you know what we're gonna do. Now, what's going on? So, we had other clients too, but we were extremely vested in this particular company, and they were vested in us as well. So, we waited a day, you know, longer, a little bit. And then I saw on the news that our partner was divesting all of their business. Was divesting their whole division, whatever you want to call it, 10,000 people, whatever that is. And they weren't going to need our studio anymore. They weren't going to need their studio either. So everybody was just going to be spread out. The systems, the partnerships, the everything that we had been developing for the last 10 years was about to go up in smoke, right? It's just bam. So, you know, I feel at this point at this juncture, you feel like a cat, right? Cat with 9 lives. Just go, whoa. You know, how many times can you go down, and how many times can you go up? By that time, I'm going, whew, do I have another one in me? You know, it's like another one. Oh, did this, did that, that hurdle, this hurdle, that hurdle. This is the price you paid, and I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about life. This is the price you paid, only to see it just go away.